तेषामेवानुकम्पार्थम् अहमज्ञानजं तमः नाशयाम्यात्मभावस्थः ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता.
Out of sheer compassion for them, dwelling in the self, I destroy the darkness born of ignorance by the luminous lamp of wisdom. So here he's speaking of that final moment of enlightenment. Anukampartham, sheer compassion. No teacher worth the name has any axe to grind. These great, as we saw yesterday, we've had the good fortune of an unending line of gurus right from thousands of centuries ago. And these enlightened souls gave out the knowledge not because they wanted something in return, but out of sheer compassion for humanity, for all of us who are suffering and suffering unnecessarily. Just as a mother guides the child out of sheer compassion, they have this motherly instinct, a parental instinct, and the swabhava, the nature of the guru, because he has reached the state of enlightenment, is to transmit Atman. What else can he give except Atman? Because he has nothing else. Only Atman is there. Then the question arises, how does he say, I destroy the darkness born of ignorance? First of all, Atman is infinite, okay? So on enlightenment, what do you reach? Infinite. But what the efforts that you're making, which we saw in verse 9, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, all these efforts are finite. So the question that arises is, how can finite efforts get you an infinite goal? This is the question that should arise in your mind. The answer to that is, the finite efforts cannot get you the infinite. Infinite you already are. Infinite is already there. Then what happens? With the finite effort, you can only remove finite ignorance. That is why he says, I destroy the darkness born of ignorance. That divine grace is universal. It's there. You have covered it. It's like the sunlight is always there. You put a roof over your head and cry, there is no sunlight. I don't have sunlight. To which the guru tells you, break down that roof. The sunlight that always was, always is, will be available to you. So this is how you destroy the darkness born of ignorance by the luminous lamp of wisdom. The only thing that you need to take care of all your problems is knowledge. In the darkness, it's like this. Suppose, God forbid, the electricity goes off and you're trying to find your way out of this auditorium. Suppose there are obstacles. There's a camera there, there's a pedestal there are people in the way, all sorts of obstacles are there, obstructions. Can you find your way through that in pitch darkness? No. Wherever you go, you'll meet with some obstacle. You hurt yourself. All you need is what? Light. What light? Open your cell phone, you get enough light. Right? That little bit of light is enough for you to find your way out in total darkness. You don't need to rearrange the furniture. You don't need to tell people to sit down. You don't need to do anything about the contents in the room. All you have to do is find a little bit of light and your passage is clear. But what would you say to a person who's rearranging the furniture in the room? It doesn't help. But come back to our lives. That's exactly what we're doing. When you get knocked here, when you get a pain there, when something goes wrong in your life, you meet with problems, you are only trying to correct the other person. You're trying to correct the situation. Right now, in the whole world, what are people trying to do? Somehow or the other to get the stock markets to go up. Right? You don't need to do that. You only need to work with your stock, your internal stock. Gain this knowledge, gain wisdom, know yourself, and all your problems will vanish immediately. This was what happened to Sita. See, all of us fall. That's not a crime. But you should have the capacity to quickly pull yourself up and keep moving. So Sita fell for the golden fleeting deer. She got abducted by Ravana. She realized her mistake immediately. What did she do? Instead of looking outward into the world, she got back to her base, her foundation, which was thought of Ram. Even while she was a prisoner of Ravana, even while Ravana was tempting her with the best in the world, he said, I'll make you queen, what else do you want? She steadfastly refused all her temptations. She didn't fall for any of the temptations that Ravana set out for her. And she got back to base, which is constant, nityam, sada, thought of Rama. And then what happened? She was placed in the Ashoka Vanam. Immediately, the moment you think of an introverted seeking, immediately what happens is you're free from the external problems. You get to the state of ashoka, non-sorrow. And in that state, you get a reminder, you get a sign that you're on the right path. You get this ring of confidence because Hanuman appeared and showed her Rama's ring, which gave her the confidence that Ram is on the way. And very soon I will gain reunion with the Lord. And it actually happened. So this is our path back to the base. Jnana deepena bhasvata. This ignorance is dispelled by wisdom. Now, verses 12 and 13 are taken to